guys, my name is Devin. I'm a small town girl with big town hair and I like to travel. Recently, I got back from a trip to Cuba. Delicious. I got a lot of questions about people wanting to know how I got there. Was it safe? How's the food? How are the people? How's the culture? So instead of responding to all of those people individually, I decided to make a video about it. Here's my video about 5 things Cuba is and 5 things Cuba is not. I think it's probably better to start with negative and then end strong with something positive. So, 5 things Cuba is definitely not. Number 5, Cuba is not a place for someone who needs things necessarily to be spotless. I'm not gonna say Cuba's dirty. It's not dirty, but it's not very clean. It's definitely not a place that you want to go if you are really finicky and kind of like grossed out really easily. And again, it's not that I'm saying Cuba's dirty, it's just not as clean as what we may be accustomed to. Number 4, Cuba is not a place that you want to go if you don't like walking, period. There's just so many little cute roads that you want to wander down and you want to walk. So if you're one of those people who doesn't really like to walk a lot and doesn't really want to hang in the sun and walk around, I mean, there are obviously places you can stop, but the best way to see Cuba is if you are walking rather than being in a car. So if you don't like to walk, Cuba is probably not the best place for you, buddy. Whoops, that's 4. Number 3, Cuba is definitely not the place you want to go to if you don't have a little knowledge of Spanish. A lot of places, for example, I live in Costa Rica, you could get by, honey, without knowing any Spanish at all. You can come down here and I'm sure every 4th person speaks English. If you don't know how to communicate kind of at least minimally in Spanish, you may have a difficult time getting around and communicating with people. I was able to get, insider tips of where we could go and what kind of places there were and things like that. So it also helps with not getting taken advantage of. It's really easy to do that. Cuba is definitely not the place you want to go to if you are just at hola, mi nombre es. You might want to pick up a couple of the phrases. Number 2 of things Cuba definitely is not. Cuba is not a place that you want to go to if you really need the internet, you really need to be connected all the time. It's a place that you definitely go to if you want to disconnect. But if you want to spend your vacation time seeking out Wi-Fi passwords, then that's by all means, I'm not going to block your blessing. But what I'm saying is you might want to just take some nice photos and then when you come back, post on Instagram like everyone else does. Number 1 for things Cuba definitely is not. Cuba is not a foodie's paradise. The food was not in any way disgusting. It just wasn't as flavorful and colorful as the Cuban food that we have come accustomed to in the United States, which is not actually pure Cuban food. It's like anything else. If you're like the type of person that's like, I want to go to Cuba and I want to have this da-da-da-da-da, chances are, unless it's a mojito, you're gonna end up a little bit disappointed in the quality of the food. For the whole week that I was there, I ate the exact same thing every single day because I found something that I liked and I just stuck with it. I bought my own little hot sauce in my bag. Shout out to Beyonce. I bought a little salt and pepper in my bag because I knew that, some of the flavoring wouldn't be as colorful as I'm used to. Cuba is not a place that you want to go to if you really need to connect with the culture that way. You really need to connect with them through food. Maybe go to a bar and grab a mojito instead because you're not going to be getting much other kind of cultural connection through the food there. Now on to the really, really great stuff. So the 5 things that Cuba definitely is. Number 5. Cuba is definitely a place you want to go to if you want to disconnect and relax. You don't have to worry about internet, you don't have to worry about notifications, emails, none of that. You just go and you just kind of disappear. I know a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, I want to go and lay on the beach, but then what happens is they get on the beach and they end up taking a million selfies so they can post them on Instagram. But you don't have that option. That's the beauty about it. You don't have Instagram. Instagram's not a thing because there's no internet, so what are you gonna do? So if you're one of those people that you want to disconnect and take a few days to dial back, Cuba is definitely a place for you. Number 4, Cuba is the place that you want to go if you want to experience a rich culture. Everything about being in Cuba is Cuban to the max. The culture is everywhere you go. The way they speak, the way they joke, the way they love, the way they laugh, the way they dance, every single thing they do. You're just like, you're so Cuban. And it's great. I mean, literally, you're walking down the street and you just hear salsa music, and then you see a man grab a woman, spin her around, and they start salsa dancing in the street. It's the most dramatic and amazing thing I've ever seen in real life. So if you want to experience culture, Cuba is definitely a place that you should go. Number 3, Cuba is definitely a place that you should go if you want to feel safe. And hey, who doesn't want to feel safe? I mean, I don't ever go, you know what I could not go for? Safety. Cuba's super safe. Like, I felt very comfortable walking around by myself with my friends, letting my friends walk around. Anywhere else, getting in a stranger's car and driving to the beach for 4 hours would seem sketch, but not in Cuba. It's really a place where you feel safe as a tourist, and that's the best that you can ask for. So yeah, Cuba's a place that you should go if you want to feel safe. Number 2, so Cuba is definitely a place that you should go if you are on a budget. The price points of things are literally kind of between $20 to $30 is like on the expensive end. So you're working with a really nice budget. You can have a lot of really rich experiences for not a lot of money. If you have the opportunity to change your money from US dollars to euros, I strongly, highly mandated that you do that, because when you have euros, your exchange rate has now tripled and you are so good as far as finances. So if you want to go to a place that is really affordable, I suggest head on over to Cuba, because it's a pretty cool place at a really great price. They didn't pay me to say that, I just said that on my own. Last but not least, the number 1 thing Cuba definitely is, Cuba is tourist friendly. It is such a fun place to be, and they are so nice and welcoming and warm, and they want you to experience Cuba. It's such a tourist-friendly place, and I think now it's in that time where, like, you really have to get in now, because I think that it can go from very, very slippery slope. It can go from a tourist-friendly place to a tourist-taking advantage place really fast. So you should get your flight and go ASAP. To Cuba, honey. Yeah. Okay. So yes, that's my list of 5 things Cuba definitely is, 5 things Cuba definitely is not. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next get around. Holla!